All right. Welcome everyone to our channels here for our live today. We got a really good one for today. We are synced up, we're ready to go, and we are ready to have some fun. Today we're going to be talking about Bangkok versus Phuket. So we're going to be talking about the top 10 differences between Bangkok and Phuket. Now, I was just talking to somebody that was traveling, right? They were really researching Phuket for all the different things Phuket has to offer compared to Bangkok. So got me thinking, and says, I should put together a little video on why, what's the differences, right? Someone's traveling, someone's visiting, maybe they've never been to Southeast Asia before. What are the differences between Bangkok and Phuket? There's a lot of differences, right? So we're going to be covering those for today. So if you're brand new to the channel, welcome. We're going to be starting on everything. We're going to be checking out the comments too, just to make sure we can answer your questions and things like that for today. So once again, the top 10 differences between Bangkok and Phuket. Okay, so let's get started for here. So whether you're planning to do your destination to Bangkok or Phuket, we have a lot of differences on your trips, your curiosities, your inquiries between two great, incredible places. So we'll break down the 10 differences between Bangkok and Phuket, from cost of living to activity to cleanliness, to health and safety to friendliness. So we got it all covered for you today on today's video. So number one, let's cover size and population. So that's big when we're traveling to different countries. We're always going to say how big is it, population, how many people, a lot of tourists. So Bangkok is Thailand's bustling, busiest, bursting like a city. It's the capital. It spans over 600 square miles with a population of over 12 million people. It's a sprawling metropolis filled with skyscrapers, temples, and markets. A lot of rooftop bars. Most of these hotels nowadays are putting in their sky lounges and things like that. Phuket, on the other hand, is Thailand's largest island. It goes from the west part of Bangkok all the way down the island, which is like one-third the size of Bangkok. But its population is much smaller, around 450,000. So that's for the residents. While Bangkok feels like fast-paced and crowded, Phuket has more of a laid-back vibe with plenty of open spaces in it. Phuket, when I was last down there, is very packed, very crowded. So we'll talk about that a little bit as well. The tourists also versus everyone retiring there too. Number two, we're going to be covering cleanliness. Like how clean is Bangkok and how clean is Phuket. So Bangkok, is always going to struggle with pollution due to its dense urban environment. There's like 4 or 5 BTS stations that really connect Bangkok. So it really is like tight. And a lot of traffic, right? So air quality is often moderate to poor and a lot of pollution issues. Now Phuket is almost the same, right? Over bustling with traffic, businesses, and what we call like air quality. But it does have a better air quality and cleanliness. And it's a little more natural because it's a beach. The beaches on both sides of the island. So it's a smaller population, but the beach, helps in a lot of that ways. Whether the air coming in and the breeze being like on an island per se. So it's generally a little bit more well maintained. It's offering a little cleaner environment compared to Bangkok streets. Now let's cover a little bit of cleanliness when we're traveling. Okay, so in Bangkok, I have really been tell you what I've been like spoiled in Bangkok. All the hotels, all the condos that I stayed in were just magnificent. What else? The friendliness of people. Not only that, Bangkok is building so big. They just finished the M-Sphere, which is IKEA. And what else is in the M-Sphere? The whole like swimming pool, restaurant, bar, and stuff. For the M-Sphere shopping center. They're building another one, which is going to be past Ekamai. And this one is called Cloud 11. Huge. They got the horticulture, forests, and all the things up top. Rooftop pools, bars, restaurants, crazy. So when we talk about like cleanliness, I really do like Bangkok. It really offers a lot of like cleanliness, a lot of really cool, what I say, like clean restaurants, hotels, and things. Now let me flip this a little bit on Phuket because Phuket, in my experience, the last two times going down there, it's very crowded. I was in a hotel that was just about $80 US a night, and I didn't have view. My window literally just looked out a brick wall. Very hard to find. I always look for a fitness center and a pool when I'm traveling. Very hard to find fitness center and pool tied into your hotel. So the prices are a lot more. I remember I was going to Phuket. Taxi dropped me off. It was some type of hotel. And I was like, okay, we're here. So for the next like 2 hours, I was looking for the hotel. Well, it was one of these like condo units you can get on Expedia and like Booking.com things. So it was one of those. I spent 2 or 3 hours trying to translate, getting directions to it, and I ended up canceling that. So it is a little bit more of a, I would say, a darker, more party type of like city than Bangkok is. So it's a little scary trying to find a hotel. Not to mention, like I said, trying to get a pool and things. Maybe you'd probably be close to like $100 or more per night. Now a lot of my travels over the years, whether it's Costa Rica, Medellin, it's Mexico, South America, things like that, I will try never to travel and pay $100 for hotel rooms. I get that in the United States. So one of my concerns as far as Phuket with the prices and things, but the value of what you get. Now let's jump into the cost of living. We're going to break down number three. It's going to be the cost of living. The cost of living versus Bangkok versus Phuket. Now Bangkok is slightly cheap overall for accommodations, food, and transportations. Now that's just because a ton of people visiting Phuket and a lot of vacation or tourists. So street food in Bangkok costs around $2 to $3 a meal. There's a few places that you can get really great food in Bangkok. These shopping plazas. They're great. One of them is Terminal 21. So you do the food courts. You get your card and you buy some food. Maybe it's 70 baht, maybe it's 80 baht, maybe it's 150 baht. So you're thinking $2 or $3. Now, when I was in Phuket, I remember the cost of just McDonald's and some of the fast food restaurants. I think the other ones were like the Pizza Hut and Domino's. You're talking like $12 to $20 for a pizza. So there is quite a difference when people flock to an area like Phuket, a travel destination. And then of course, everything just keeps rising as far as prices. Because everyone's willing to travel there. That's why I really enjoy Bangkok a lot more. Cheaper, right? Better food options, and we're not as clustered in there. And not to mention what I can get for rooftop bars and pools and fitness centers inside. My hotel is crazy. I was just up north of Soy Cowboy. And I had a hotel, and it had the rooftop pool, had a little like bar. It wasn't really a bar, but they had a little section where you could get your Gatorades or your waters, and they had like little how much you could cook stuff like that. It was great. Fitness center and stuff. So really cool. So let's compare that to Phuket. We have here, and some of the stats in front of me is $8 to $12 for the cost of a meal. Per meal, so if it's like lunch or dinner. So Phuket is a little bit more where they're doing street food, maybe doing little restaurants on the sides. A lot of trendy areas like Phuket. And the beaches, the prices go up and up. I remember I was at the one center right in the heart of Phuket. And for like chicken, like a little chicken and stuff like that, it was like $15. So let's cover some rent. Let's go into rent and compare the rent for Bangkok versus Phuket. So rent for a one-bedroom apartment in downtown Bangkok averages anywhere from $350 a month all the way up to about $600. Now versus Phuket, which starts at about $550 and goes up to $800. So I know, talking to a lot of people in Canada and London, here in Bangkok, most of the retirees tend to gravitate towards Pattaya or Bangkok as far as retiring. Phuket is just a little bit pricey. So everyone, when we're retiring for their pensions and stuff, they're always going to say, well, how far can my dollar last? Right. So Phuket, once again, a party town, vacation tourist spot, but definitely not somewhere where we could say, hey, this is home, and I can save some good money as far as my savings and investments. Now, the next one, number four, we're going to be going into like activities. We're going to be breaking down Bangkok activities and Phuket activities. Now, Bangkok is rich in cultural landmarks like the Grand Palace, the Wat Ruins, the temples, the Cha Market, and things like that. Street food. We have An-Nut, we have Hat Pong. So a lot of cool like things like that. You can also enjoy like urban activities like I was mentioning, like rooftop bars. A lot of these hotels have their rooftop like restaurants and stuff. And then of course there's the Chao Phraya River, which is all the river cruises. And then you also have Bangkok also has the elephant rides, all the floating river. They have the King Power, Manahorn, which is the skyscraper. And things so a lot to do. For Bangkok, I usually tell my friends that you can do anything on a given evening. They have so many pub crawls where they'll visit into these tuk-tuks around 8 or 9 different microbrews. You can do billiards, you can shoot darts, you can go to a open mic comedy club. You can do volleyball. badminton, chess. What else do I see? Roller skating. The roller skating on M Quartier or M across from M Quartier. There's just so much to do. Now let's flip that over here on number four and go into Phuket. Now Phuket is going to shine with all the outdoor activities. When I was in Phuket, I did like two or three scuba dives. So you can't get that in Bangkok, right? Scuba diving and seeing some of the sea life and exploring a lot of the beaches stuff. So the beaches at Patang and Kata Beach are the most popular ones for Phuket. They are very crowded, and they are very pricey as far as like meals, food, souvenirs, and clothing, whatever you're buying there as well. Now Phuket is known for island hopping. If you like to go island hopping, like PPI Island, James Bond Island, and things like that. It's really cool things to do. Snorkeling and like a lot of water sports. I did the parasailing too, which was out of Phuket. I forgot what beach, but they had a little pier you could do the parasailing. So that's a little bit of the differences for like activities for Phuket. I think the only thing I was missing on the activities is like the nightlife. The nightlife for Bangkok, of course, has Nana, and then it also has Soy Cowboy, and then Phuket has Patong and Kata Beach. Now they also do have a little section which they call Phuket. I'm sorry, Old Town Phuket. Phuket Old Town, which is really nice. They got a downtown there. It's probably, I think when I did the tour and I stayed there a few days, I think it was like 40 minutes. So it's actually closer to the airport in Phuket. The other thing, too, when we're doing island hopping and things, it gets a little challenging. One thing I really love about Bangkok is you can fly into Bangkok and you can have a plethora of activities and things to do within 5 days. Now in Phuket, a lot of these island hopping things require you to take a bus to the ferry. That ferry, of course, is going to go over to another island, which will take you. So it's a lot of island hopping. That's a lot of ferries. Excuse me. The last time I did that, make sure you bring baht. Make sure you bring like cash, because every exchange, every ferry, right? It's like 100 pesos or 200. I said pesos, 100 baht or 200 baht. It's whatever it is to do the transfer on that. So that's the one thing to keep in mind. Moving on to number 5, which we're halfway through, when we're talking about Bangkok versus Phuket. Friendliness. So both cities are known for their welcoming locals, but the vibe differs very much so, right? Bangkok locals are accustomed to tourists in Bangkok. A lot of businesses are oriented to the fast pace of the city life. Like I said, there's these million and billion dollar shopping centers, M Sphere, M Quartier, Terminal 21, M Quartier. So some of these, so it's very, very westernized as far as language, but also locals as far as like friendliness and selling anything from tennis shoes to shirts, fragrances, makeups, dresses, clothing, sporting goods, what have you. Okay, so that's sort of Bangkok. Now Phuket, it's like a beach town, so the residents tend to be a little bit more, what should I say, like cautious per se as far as Phuket. Even though it's a little bit laid back, it's still, like I said, it's overcrowded, it's packed, it's got a lot of tourists, a lot of action in it. So Phuket tends to be a little bit more like cautious per se, meaning like not as like talkative or friendly when we're around maybe the different plazas, shopping centers, and stuff like that. Okay, so So number 6, we're going to be going into transportation. So like, how do we get around? Right, Pattaya is so easy because you do the blue pickup trucks and you go around the whole city. So let's talk a little bit about like transportation for Bangkok versus like Phuket. Now Bangkok boasts an extensive public transportation system with the BTS SkyTrain and the MRT, and they're all tied in. And it's like 6 what would I call it? Like 6 like stops that really bind the whole city together. It's really, really easy once you start understanding the different stops and where to get off and where to get on and things like that. So the SkyTrain, BTS, and the MRT. For the subway, right, you have to go down and then you get your little tokens and you do the subways. Very, very affordable. Some of the ride sharing is the Grab app and then a Bolt. So we have the Grab and the Bolt. You get around very well. We always suggest that we do like a motorbike. But when you're with your family or with a significant other, where you're traveling as a couple, well, you'd have to do like a tuk-tuk or a little taxi. The thing about that is Bangkok is at a lot of times 4 or 5 lanes of gridlock traffic, right? Just sort of inching down where these motorbikes just keep weaving through. Usually our friends, when we're doing different sporting events or we're reviewing different restaurants, we just do separate bikes just because it's just so much quicker. Now let's cover Phuket a little bit in transportation. So it relies heavily on like taxis or like private vehicles, since like the public transit options are very, very limited in Phuket. Like I said, there's a lot of tourists, so the prices are up a little bit as far as like what would I call it, like getting around. I don't know what you would call it, like transportation per se, but just making things like on the daily activities quick and easy, right? So a lot of cars, taxis, and things like that. So Phuket is a little more expensive compared to Bangkok. Number 7, we're going to be going into nightlife. The nightlife of Bangkok for Soy Cowboy and Nana, Pat Pong, and some of the other night centers. And then we have Phuket, which will have the Patong, what is it, like Banglo Road and stuff. So let's break it down really quick. Bangkok offers vibrant nightlife options like rooftop bars, sky bars, or like the Vertigo or the Flamenco, which is like bustling areas. Also, they have the Kosan Road and Nana Plaza for like clubbing, live music, and a lot of venues. Now, Phuket's nightlife centers around pretty much Patong's Bangla Road, which just goes straight through and then over. So it's more of a, what would I say, like a high cluster of activity going on from bars to clubs to restaurants to food to tourists to shopping to all that. So it's a mix of things. What I found in Phuket is the few times that I was in Phuket, it is a very loud town, almost like Pattaya, and your hotels, if you are close to some of the what would I call it, the night centers per se. It seemed like no matter where I was at, there was always sirens going off, police sirens. Noises going off, people, partying and loud music and things echoing through the sky per se. That's my experience for Phuket. Like it's like a party loud. So if you're young, if you're in your 20s, 25s, you like to party, you like to enjoy, you always like drinking and clubbing and things like that. There's weed places all over. Nowadays, that would probably be the best thing for you. Bangkok now it seems my opinion offers a little bit more of a family atmosphere, meaning like you can play volleyball, pickleball, you can play chess. You go out rollerblading. You could do now. One thing I love, I didn't really say too much about this. Bangkok has these parks. So they got the Bench Park. They got there's like 3 parks. You always see people walking and running and get their baby strollers, a lot of activity. They have sporting things inside, so basketball courts. They got the volleyball courts in there. So it's a lot of like activity, a lot of fitness too. And you'll see that throughout the night. I did a review on Bench Park just the other week. And it was still busy at what about 11:30 at night. So it's really good to see a lot of people out running, exercising, talking, having a walk with your husband or your wife, getting exercise in, or just enjoying sport. In sports and things like that. If you're looking for food in restaurants, Phuket, on the other hand, seems to have a lot more late night eateries. So if you like the late night eateries, the restaurants, the chickens, the steak places, the seafood places, and things are open a lot later for that type of like energy of the city. Moving on to number 8. For number 8 for Bangkok versus Phuket. So we're going to be moving on to number 8. We're going to be covering food scene. Now I know I did a lot of restaurant reviews for the food scene. Bangkok and Pattaya, also Koh Samui. We did a few as well. Bali. So let's cover Bangkok real quick. It is often hailed as Thailand's street capital. This is no joke. When you go to On Nut. So Mark took me to On Nut, which is by Lotus. It is literally like who knows 300 yards street food from vendor from cooking octopus to cooking seafood, chicken, rice, stalls, you name it. We had like waffles. So anything you can imagine. And then weeks later, Mark and I, we went to Pat Pong. Same thing, just miles and miles of just different people cooking and food. It is just out of this world. Not only that, the prices are amazing. We did a video that was entitled the 100 baht challenge. So 100 baht converts to about $2.50 US, and we were seeing how much we can get for that. And I was on the streets of Bangkok, and the food that I had for 100 baht was crazy. I had chicken, I had rice, I had like chicken wings, I had a skewer of chicken. It was like pretty amazing. So let's cover number 8 for our list for Bangkok versus Phuket. Bangkok, once again, is a street food capital. It's just amazing. Just iconic dishes like pad thai, octopus, all types of fish, prawn, lobster, you name it. And a lot of people say just for $2 or $3, at the markets. Pretty amazing. There's some market and fairs like Rat Phai, if I pronounce that correctly, Rat Phai Night Market, or the Yawarat, which is in Chinatown, for there. And then we also have Pat Pong, and like I was saying, On Nut. And I'm sure there's some other ones I'm missing as well that are just crazy. Oh, I'm sorry. There's another one at Ekamai when you were rock climbing. at the urban playground. It was just crazy. It was just all this street food. Totally will blow your way. Mark and I have some videos up that says if you're going to travel for any reason, travel for the food, right? Travel for the food of Thailand. You'll be blown away by everything. You'll even be able to relish and enjoy it. Now, let's flip it over to Phuket. Phuket specializes in seafood since it's like an island, right? It's by the ocean. So it's dishes like coconut crab, a lot of breaded fish, and like oysters and things like that. The coastal location has a lot of that to offer. That you'll see a lot of the restaurants or seafood restaurants tied into steaks. They'll do steak and seafood restaurants and stuff. But for my like recommendation for Bangkok versus Phuket, Phuket just lacked that variety that Bangkok has. Just about 8 or 10 minutes north of Bangkok is Ratchatat. And we did the whole street fair up there. It was just crazy. All the different flavors and people were cooking. We ordered the steaks, but people were cooking like the rices, the chickens. What else? The pork. They had, of course, the crocodile, the alligator, the crickets, all the like exotic foods and stuff. So Bangkok is definitely something you definitely can't miss out on. Beaches versus parks. Now, I put this one in here because, when we talk about Phuket, it's a lot of beaches. Where can we go? Where can we do some island hopping? And then parks, right, is Bangkok. We were talking about Benchatidi Park. And I was going to grab my phone really quick. Luminini Park. There's like three parks that are all put together and stuff. So let's cover beaches versus parks. We're traveling, right? You're doing some research. You're saying, what city is best for me? Well, Phuket is famous for its stunning beaches. It's very clear water. It's great. You could do a little surfing. It's up north. There's 2 surf spots, maybe 6 inches or 8 inches. They say if the swell comes in for like November, December, you could catch some waves in the northern parts of Phuket. Not too much so, but it is really, really cool as far as your beaches. I remember I was doing some scuba, and I did some scuba out of Pattaya, and then I also did some scuba out of Phuket. And we did some islands, and then we went to the south part of Phuket. And I think we had to go around the island, if I'm not mistaken, to get to those middle islands. Is it Phi Phi Island, James Bond Island, which are all like tucked in that bay. I was blown away by the crystal clear water, the glowing sun, the glistening sand. It was really, really pretty. Probably prettier than Cancun or like Riviera Maya, which would be like Mexico. So the beaches are Kapta Beach and Karan Beach in Phuket. So a little different than Pattaya, right? They're a little more cleaner. They're a little more, you go in the water, you can see, underwater, really, really nice for what do you call it? How far you can see underwater, the visual, right? It's very relaxing. And then if you like water sports, where that's jet skiing, where you jump on the inner tube on the back of the jet ski, they do that all the time. The parasailing is really cool. It's just the parachute, and then jet ski will pull you up, and you go up in the air. You go around a few times. It's truly amazing. If you get the chance, of course, Phuket, I would highly recommend doing some really cool scuba out of Phuket and the Phuket Islands. That would be great. Bangkok. So Bangkok compensates with a lot of differences like this. And when I said like parks, but before I go to the parks, they still have the floating river. They have King Power, which is a skyscraper, which is amazing. I think 53 floors up. You can look at the sunset. They got a whole bar restaurant up there. It's phenomenal. And they have, Bangkok has, I think, probably a good dozen other hotels and buildings like that. I was up to one of them a few weeks ago, but then they closed. They had the walk. They had the glass walk. It was right off a summit pit. I was like, how do I get up there? I was trying to translate. Finally, the officer, security officer, said that was closed last year. Maybe some safety issues or something, or as far as the glass or whatever. But so it has a lot to do. Now we're going to jump into the parks. So the parks, we have the Lumpini Park. That was the one I was thinking of before. Benchikiti Park. And these are some of the parks that you could just enjoy any type of activities, whether you're rollerblading. They have the skate, like you grab a skateboard. They have the volleyball. They have basketball. They have the lakes. When I was there too, they had an orchestra doing the music right in the middle. It's really amazing. So Bangkok is very, very special for everything they do as far as these like parks and how they incorporate the different parks. One of them was like setting up different things every week. It was crazy, right? For like February, March, they were doing different like stuff. Then a week later, they did some fitness things, and a week after that, they did this whole thing where it was tied into curing cancer and things. Next thing, they were tearing it all down, building up this whole playground things for kids and stuff. So they're really tied into making these parks different and so amazing and beautiful every different week. It's like you could go next week and you wouldn't even think it's like the same park. It's pretty cool. So that was number 9. That was beaches versus parks. So if you're traveling and you're visiting and you're thinking, hey, I love beaches, right? I like the sun, I like the beach, I like the sand, right? Me, my husband, my wife, our kids, we like to play in the sand. Phuket would be yours for sure. We do some island hopping things. If you like the parks and you like a big bustling city like New York City, Paris, well, Bangkok is going to be the one for you. Number 10, we're going to be going into accessibility. So our final number 10 differences between Bangkok and Phuket accessibility. Now, Bangkok has 2 major international airports. It has the BKK and the Dong Muang, the DMK. So there's 2 of them. One's up north and then one's out east, making it very easy to access it from anywhere in the world you go around. Now, usually the DMK is for the local people. When I went down to Bali, you go to DMK. International, we're going back to the States, or we're going to like Australia or London, you go out of BKK. So it has 2 airports on it, which is great for travelers and stuff. Now, Phuket, its international airports has very fewer direct flights. It's almost like Koh Samui, right? It has very limited flights coming in and out. So you got to time it pretty well as far as when you're leaving, when you're coming in, when your plane's leaving, what activities you're going to be doing and stuff like that. The other thing about Phuket, it's a little bit of a drive from the airport to the main beaches. For Qatar Road and Patong Beach. So that's a good distance away. I'm trying to compare it to like what other cities you'd fly in, but you got to take that 40-minute drive to get to your beach if you guys are staying close to Patong Beach in Phuket. What else as far as accessibility? Now, accessibility, when I was saying, like, you can jump on a tuk-tuk, you can jump on taxis in Bangkok, motorbikes through Bolt or the Grab app. The Phuket is a little different, right? It's a little bit more like tight and like clustered. I remember I was trying to get on either a tuk-tuk or taxi. And it took forever just because there's just so much traffic. We were trying to get out of the little alleys to the main streets, the main highways. I think it was either back to the airport or I was going to Phuket Old Town. On that, so the accessibility isn't all there. And then also I wanted to reflect on the accessibility of the islands. Once again, a taxi is going to have to take you to a ferry. A ferry is going to have to take you across to another little island. You might have to do another ferry. So it's almost like island hopping years ago. A lot of people said the island hopping is a little tough and to navigate through around the southern parts of Thailand. Just because of accessibility, but also if you do travel with family, there's a lot of people to take care of, right? Getting across the ferry, getting to the next place, and things like that. So the accessibility definitely is there. I'd almost compare it to like New York City, right? You come in, you fly in, and you got all your activities. You're walking everywhere. One thing I love about Bangkok, you walk pretty much everywhere. Either that or you're on the BTS or the MRT, and you're 5 to 7 minutes away. Compared to, let's just say, we're doing like Cancun, Riviera Maya, where there's a lot of walking. There's a lot of nothing really like close and stuff. Aruba was like that as well. Just to walk to the grocery store and come back. It's like, whoa, you need like a taxi or something if you didn't rent a car yourself. And things. So that gives you a good idea as far as the 10 top differences between Bangkok and Phuket. Hopefully I covered everything for the differences. We covered accessibility, we covered friendliness, we covered food, and the differences and things. And the next things we covered was beach versus like the parks and things like that. And then the last one we ended with how easy it is to navigate in the city, right? I was just talking to somebody, they said they wanted to be in a city. It reminds me of San Diego, where you could just fly in, you could enjoy the day for like 3 days. You just walk around, you don't need to rent a car, you don't need other expenses and things as like San Diego is it, right? Everything's downtown, the zoo's down there, the whole downtown the walking street is down there. Planet Hollywood is right there. It's crazy. That's one of the most convenient cities I've ever been around as far as San Diego. So that's a good wrap as far as 1 through 10 Bangkok versus Phuket. The 10 key differences between Bangkok and Phuket. Now, whether you're drawn to Bangkok's cultural landmarks and a bustling city and their like day and nightly activities, or Phuket's pristine beaches, both destinations offer unforgettable experiences tailored to different travel styles. Your different travel style. Let me know in the comments which city you choose for your next trip. Don't forget to share this video with friends and subscribe to our channels down below. I'll be checking the comments really quick right here. Have a great day and afternoon, everyone, and see you on our next travel videos.